there have been lots of changes, improvements, balances to ships since 3.23. There have been some changes to rockets and so forth. One of the more noteworthy things, I think, is laser cannons' efficiency being anti-ship. Now, of course, some of the weaker laser cannons might not make it feel as if you are using something powerful to take down another ship. You might think you're gonna get more value out of repeaters. But at the moment, repeaters, yes, they have good DPS, yes, you can burst out a lot, but you need a steady stream of fire to be extremely useful with them. And so laser cannons, especially on these big ships, are a proper dedicated weapons to break open some of these other big and medium sized ships. Not every laser cannon is some super powerful or really well balanced against ships, but most of them have been improved to have bigger alpha damage to pack a bigger punch. And since laser cannons ammo usually is quite limited even for the big ships, every hit you land might actually be a really easy hit against another big target, and it might be a very valuable hit since you can do a lot of damage. Now, I'm not gonna argue here that having a heavy duty size 5 ballistic repeaters are not gonna decimate your opponents, because they are, and those are very ideal weapons. I still very much like them, but seeing the possibility of using these high alpha damage laser cannons is a very unique take on what some of the big ships can do. Don't get me wrong, there are several small laser cannons that also got buffed, but there are also some which got nerfed. I believe it was FL22. That went a bit weaker with its balance and tweaks, but across the board, most laser cannons actually got a buff. May it be to their regeneration, maximum available ammo, and most obviously of course alpha damage and through that DPS. But don't get me wrong, these buffs weren't as massive as they may appear. It may just be 100 damage per weapon, and if the weapon was already doing 450 damage or so, it's not an overly massive buff, but it is significant enough to make the laser cannons, which are now more considered to be anti-ship weapons, to pack a bit more punch. Of course, they try to do this trade-off from laser repeaters, or at least a full set of laser repeaters to get a mix of different weapons in there. And so running these old heavy laser repeater builds, which used to be very viable because of their huge DPS and the high rate of fire with only some misses happening, you could be very efficient. Now they are significantly less deadly than they were, and that is one of the things among many which has its effect throughout the ship combat gameplay. Personally, I think it is good that they're trying to force players into mixing different types of weapons. It won't create a scenario where one weapon will remain overly powerful. Let's say you are using laser repeater as a weapon to keep your opponent's shields down. You are using laser cannons to break it open or just bring down the shields, or distortion cannons, and then you just want to assault it with a laser repeater every now and then until you get to your position. Of course, with small ships, the combat is a lot more fast-paced, you are a lot more agile, and directly it may not be needed. But at least they are trying, in a way, to change the light fighter gameplay to be different from laser repeaters, because those used to be the go-to weapons almost on any competitive light fighter. They probably still are, but now perhaps there is a unique combo we can do with laser cannons to actually push our authority.
You will respect my authority!
Yeah, of course laser cannons are gonna miss a lot more against a smaller target at a distance, and with laser repeater you are bound to get in quite a lot of hits. So I think they kinda got the laser cannons at least somewhat right with 3.23. Maybe not across the board, but they're sending a lot more powerful message with these weapons against other ships, and that is nice to see. But as usual, don't forget to like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.